Bum, bum, da, 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 dum, dum, dum. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to another episode of I Often Wonder, I.O.W. Sports.
What up, though?
As always, it's your boy Lamar. That's the man, Detroit Male, the man with the Grandmaster plan for the I.O.W. Network. And we are here with another episode of I.O.W. Sports, episode 233. Got a lot to talk about. We got, some March Madness, both in the men and the women's tournament. Wow. We got, the Wild Wild West in the Western Conference in the NBA. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention, but the race in the NBA Western Conference is about to be the most dramatic ending of a regular season I've ever seen in a long time.
Yeah, Dallas ain't gonna make it though.
Hey, that's the thing. We don't know because we'll get into that discussion because I think we need to have some deep, in-depth conversations about that. We got some NFL talk. Mr. Lamar Jackson finally came out and said, he requested a trade in early March. Right before the tagging deadline. So we'll discuss that a little bit and other things leading up to the draft. It's really a lot of stuff. And here's one topic that we've been pushing off for a minute. But before we get too deep off into that, let's get the preliminary stuff out the way. Y'all know the deal. Please go on over to I.O.W. Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, and most importantly on YouTube, where our YouTube channel is stored, where you can, check out all the content that we got on YouTube. And then, you on the Twitter, you can find us on Twitter too, I.O.W. Sports 1. And you can personally chop it up with me, the Wildcard Mar, and Wildcard Mar on Facebook and Instagram, and on Twitter at Casey Wildcard Mar. Man, y'all ain't gonna believe the one that jumped into the I.O.W. Sports DM the other day, man. This is why Mel needs it. So first we had the booger woogers, then we got the catfish, then we got the butterfaces tapping in, and now we got the woolly mammoths coming in. They coming in now.
What the ass look like?
I mean, one of them had a caboose like a mud, like for real.
I didn't know.
Ass
will travel.
That's all I need to know.
I don't even know why you got to profile your face, bitch. Just put your ass up there. For real.
Ladies, look, please understand that if you slide into the I.O.W. Sports DMs and Detroit Mail answers, you are as good as golden because all you need is a pulse.
That's it.
And you better be
careful. They're going to be weak as hell.
I'm telling you, man, y'all better be careful. You better be ready to shake something and do something if you jump into the I.O.W. Sports DMs. Right. And Detroit. I don't want none of that. I'm good. My DMs is closed.
I keep penicillin and all that stuff on hand. Just in case. So she leave, I take a couple shots of this, pop a few pills here. We good. And give her a plan B on the way out. We all good.
I was about to ask. I was like, what a plan B at?
I got all that. So you take this, I'll take this, take a little of this. We good.
You find out my man got a full pharmacy in the corner of his house, man.
I keep that mug in the bubble gum jar. Quarter, plan B, roll out. There you go. Take this on the way out.
I absolutely can't. MJ, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? MJ's in the building, man. Man, me and MJ been putting out some quality content the last couple of weeks. If you haven't a chance to check out the I.O.W. show, the late night owl show, Monday through Thursdays, 11 p.m. Standard Time. Hey, it's on the same, YouTube channel as this I.O.W. Sports episode. I.O.W. Sports Network on YouTube. Please go check it out. But no, man. Yeah, man. We gonna, I know we've been talking about it, but I think it's time that we need to have a Detroit Mail Nasty D Twitter account, because man, these like I was fine with the Chewbacca's and the Butterfaces, but now you bringing in the woolly mammoths.
Hey man,
I'm
an equal opportunity employer.
Yeah, but I'm saying once you start bringing in the sloths, I really got to shut it down, bro.
I can't discriminate, bro. I can't discriminate.
Sloth
in the dick too.
All right, man. Hey, man, y'all didn't heard all preliminaries. You see it on the bottom of the screen. Make sure you go hit up one of these platforms on social media to follow us, preferably the YouTube channel. Please go show us some love, man. We appreciate it. And
saber tooth.
Yeah, the saber tooth. Hey, man. Hey, MJ, boy, you don't even want to see that hat that's been tapping into the damn DMs on the I.O.W Sports joint. I'm gonna need Mel to go ahead and make his own D Nasty Detroit Melly, OMFG.
OMFG.
Yeah, OMFG, old motherfucking guy. And make his own Twitter account, because it's just getting out of control, bro. But no. One thing that's getting out of control, and here's a topic that we haven't really been talked about yet, but we've been trying to, and just been running out of time. But I think this is a very important conversation, because you obviously we're all about being inclusive and being conscious and aware.
I was saying earlier.
Yeah, like you were saying earlier. Yeah, but that was in relation to another topic.
Still being inclusive, but I'm still being inclusive.
Yes, you are being inclusive. You're not discriminating. You should probably be a little bit more selective on who you're letting in the deals. But I understand what you're saying. But in the NHL, you're starting to get a lot of pushback from these hockey players, from these organizations, because they have, Pride Month or Pride Night, and they got to wear like the Pride jerseys and shit like that. Right. And some of these hockey players are starting to push back. They're like, "Nah, man, we ain't with it. We ain't down with it. I refuse to do it." So kind of, and that's kind of just the gist of the situation. So if you guys want to definitely look more in depth on it, definitely go on over to any of your applications or anything.
But you gotta look at it too, though, man.
NHL hockey information. Yeah, go ahead.
A lot, you got a lot of percentage of those hockey players are Russian, and Putin banned that, and some got dual citizenship and stuff like that.
True.
So they got to go back to Russia. So they know they can't be seen wearing the Pride Month stuff and things like that, because it's illegal in Russia.
Yeah, it goes against a lot of things. Well, I mean, it's sad to say that over in Russia, you can still be put in jail, or pretty a lot of prosecuted, persecuted, a lot of things done to you just for you having homosexual orientation.
Right.
So behind on times, but that's Russia. That's how they get.
So, but based on that, so in those cases, I can't fault him for it.
No,
in those cases,
no.
You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta think he's looking out for his overall well-being. You know what I'm saying? It's a jersey to you and everything. When I go back home, it's a whole different story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't fault him for that. Whether I disagree with, that's a whole other conversation. But I don't fault him for that. But the ones who just kind of like, I just ain't gonna do it because I believe all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just a jersey. I don't even look at it a whole different way. They got what you call it, Walmart, and then they have some kind of Pride beauty. They had like a body wash and lotion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Shoot, something smell good. I bought some.
What's up, Smitty? How you doing? And look, so let me say this. I don't like it when corporations try to make you wear certain shit,
That's
force you
different
to
thing.
wear certain.
Yeah, right.
You know, if you don't agree with it and don't rock with it, you should be allowed that opportunity to make that decision on your own.
I agree.
Because let me put it to you this way. All right, so the NFL has all this, you know, inspire change stuff, you know, do end racism stuff and all this, and they're just making it and putting it on the field. They're not asking; they just do it.
Right.
So what if one day one of these players are like, "Yo, man, bump this shit, man. Stop all this damn forced woke shit on us." And I'm gonna say that it's forced woke shit. I don't give a damn what nobody say. NFL, the way that they operate, and you want to continue to, you know, play the fence on, you know, we're so inclusive, so progressive, and so this and that, but y'all still operate in a very 1800 style of doing business.
It's good for the corporation. All corporations do it. I mean, you know, they do all that stuff. They wave the pride flag. During February, they got some kind of Black History stuff, and you know, like this month they doing women's stuff. But then you go through their employment guide. There's no Black people in higher position. There's no women in higher position. There's no any kind LGBTQYC EFGHIG in any kind of position. So you know what I'm saying. So it's like, yeah, it's just forced. It's not real.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, one thing about the story with the NHL players, I'm not hearing any actual repercussions or consequences.
I don't think it should be though.
No, and I'm with you. There shouldn't be any repercussions or consequences, because my thing is that should be a choice, because you can't force that on me. You know, if you say that this is your organizational beliefs, you know, by all means, and you saying I don't fit your organization beliefs and you got to release me or trade me, then by all means, I'm gonna still find a way to you know, talk about it.
If you, especially a great player, somebody pick you up.
Oh well, yeah.
So it ain't that one, you know what I'm saying? They pick you up.
Oh, you still get picked up, but I'm just saying, as an overall, I should be able to have that choice. And if you do something like fire me or suspend me or take away my money, I'm gonna still talk to my union rep and see what the hell is the problem. Like, why should there be a punishment, or why should there be any consequences of not falling in line with something that you don't rock with, you don't believe in? And you know, y'all know us, I.O.W. I often wonder from my other podcast. We are far from, you know, discriminate people and trying to exclude a certain sector of people. That ain't us. So let me preface my work, and especially because, you know, I have homosexual cousins and friends. I don't care what they. But, you know, if I'm going to support them, that's because of the support that I personally want to give them, and you can't force me to do it.
Right, so, man. Right, Smitty.
I got no issue with some of these hockey players, just like you said, in certain situations. If Russian hockey players don't want to do it because they, you know, the fear of the backlash and the possible ramifications going back home to Russia because they got dual citizenship. Right. They're over in Russia. They don't mess with that homosexual shit. Then
you gotta look out for your well-being.
Yeah, look out for your well-being, and that should be it. Right. I don't know. It's just when you got situations like this in 2023, in today's time where everything's so overly sensitive and overly reactive, you know, I don't want these players to feel like demonized or you know, oh, you guys are bucking the system. No, what's wrong with having a little, you know, a choice? I thought that was the principles of what we all came to this country for, was to have a choice.
That's not how I came to this country, sir. I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, and Smitty, you're right. I agree with you. Yeah, because Smitty said, I don't care what people like or identify as long as you're not an asshole to me, then we chill. Yeah, I mean, which is, you know,
great, right?
Which is 100% how I feel. Right. You know, I'm pretty sure Mel feels the same way. I don't care what you do, who you sleep with, you know, where you come from, the background. As long as you, you know, A1 with me, I'm gonna be A1 with you. That's just the bottom line of the situation.
Right. And I think too, the problem is, like you said before, when you speak against it, it's always like, oh, you being hateful or discriminatory.
Oh, you're so anti.
Yeah, so anti, but they won't take time to hear the thrust of your argument. You know what I'm saying? Listen to what I'm saying. They won't take time to that. As soon as they hear,
no,
you don't want to do it. Oh, what?
They shut it out.
You're discriminatory. And then especially like if one of us said, oh, and you're black. You should know how I feel. Why we being black? I mean, know how I feel being gay. That's those two different things. They're the same.
You know what? Hold on, bro. I'm glad you said that, because now let me say this. I have said, even on our other podcasts, that I do feel that there's a correlation between minorities and homosexuals who have had to deal with the same shit. So I will say that. But what I will say is that there's a huge difference between being black and there's a huge difference between being gay.
Right. Unless you flamboyant, you walk to the room, I can't tell you gay. When I walk into the room, you can tell I'm black.
Yeah.
So that's a big difference.
Big difference.
Big difference. You know what I'm saying? So I hate when people try to make that correlation and make that argument. It's not the same thing. It is some similarities as far as like,
I'm glad you said
as far as you saying, fighting for certain rights and being discriminated against and all that stuff. Yeah, I give you that. And there are some similarities. However, that's not the same thing, and don't try to make it the same thing.
Yeah,
that's the problem I have with it.
Yeah, I know. So I mean,
yeah, I know. I wonder sometimes too, man.
Yeah,
I wake up in the mirror like, nigga, you black.
So it's just like, I don't want, because let's be honest, because here's the thing about, especially with the NHL. I'm not faulting the NHL to find other avenues to try to include different types of people to their product. I have no problem at all.
Right.
Because how I see it, you should try to reach out to other sectors of the world that, don't always in line with your product. Same thing with NASCAR. NASCAR has gone through a bunch of revamping of their product to be inclusive to a lot of people,
right?
Especially minorities. They gotten rid of how allowing you to bring the Confederate flag to racing events. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And not letting people wave those flags around so that people of minority could feel comfortable being at a sporting event. Right. You know what I'm saying? I have no issue with the NHL trying to include, the pride jerseys, to include a certain sector of people to get to their content, because NHL, just like NASCAR, they're going to try things to bring eyes to their product. I mean, this is a business move. I'm not saying it's genuine, if they really care about homosexuals or not.
Right.
That's not for me or my job to determine whether they're being genuine about caring about homosexuals or not. It's just the fact of the matter is they're trying a business model to attract more people to their product. And with that, you're going to have situations like this one. There's going to be some players who's not going to agree with it.
Right.
And they should be allowed to, whether, participate or sit it out. And it should be just that. Just like you said, man, like we can't just because you don't agree, or no, it shouldn't be backlash. Oh, you're so this, you're so anti, you're so
right.
Nah, man, no, it's a choice. It is a choice, and rather the choice is for me personally because of safety and well-being, then so be it. If the choice is because maybe I don't understand it, then that should be okay. There are still people in 2023 who just don't understand, having that sexual orientation. They just don't.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't understand fucking another man. I ain't saying I don't have that understanding. I'm just saying it don't bother me that you do that. I don't understand it, but it don't bother me. PSA over. I made that clear.
Nah, you need to make that clear.
Make that clear.
Never mind. Anyway, but
I
no,
know I say I had no standards, but that's where I draw the line.
that's where you draw the line. Wait, so
Bussy is not my thing.
But I'm saying your standard's been real fucked up the whole time, but now,
but they don't cross the bussy line. Just saying.
Oh my goodness. I mean, you know, hey, I mean, do what you do, bro. I ain't gonna hate. You know, matter of fact, I'm not even mad about it. You know,
right?
When a woman say I'm a lesbian, I'd be like, shit, me too.
I like pussy. No popular opinion. Can be bisexual if you want me.
Hey, let's have that conversation, MJ, for our other podcast, because I don't want to go too deep off into that, because I want to try to, you know, kind of keep it straight to to sports related. But just, I mean, I and obviously there's topics like this that's going to come up in the sports world. It's going to happen. It's going to be, you know, and I just feel like it's our obligation to, you know, speak on topics like this, just because, you know, at the end of the day, we don't know what these athletes got to deal with outside of making that choice of, you know, participating in one night to wear, you know, a pride jersey. It's more than that. It's bigger than that. And so,
for some moment it is. And let's put we put a bow on it and then move on to the next subject. But here's why I say, first of all, let us just make this clear. You know, I know Lamar had said it earlier, but I just want to make it clear because, you know, people get in here and come in the conversations and start getting the comments with stupid crap. But, you know, we don't care what you do. You make that clear. And half the time to be joking, half the time, you know what I'm saying, having fun.
And if y'all don't understand our humor, watch our product.
You know what I'm saying? So let's just get that out the way. Now, when it comes to stuff like this, to me, the bigger issue is, you know, you forcing it on somebody, especially somebody like that's Russian, whose safety may be in danger.
Yeah.
You know, and when I'm watching, I saw it on Twitter and other places, that's mostly pointing out the Russian players. I'm like, well, why y'all pointing them out? You know what I'm saying? Because if I had a choice between wearing a jersey and my safety, I won't be putting a jersey on. Why would I put a jersey on?
Damn that jersey.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm worried about the safety of me and my peoples.
And then they might have family back there in Russia. Their wife and kid may be back in Russia. You know what I'm saying? You jeopardize their safety just so you can appease some people to wear a jersey? And then people getting on Twitter and talking about them like, oh, well, you know, they being discriminatory. That's bullshit.
Yeah. Smitty got a good point. I like this point. I'm gonna bring it up. He says it's just crazy to me that some people
go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
It's just crazy to me that some people get praise for certain beliefs and ridicule for others. Then people say you can believe anything you want, which is, I mean, you got a good point. You can't say, oh, well, you know, be free, believe what you want, say what you want, and obviously we understand, you know, there's saying anything, there's certain consequences and repercussions that comes to freedom of speech, even though that's still wild as hell to me. But it's just, you know, you should be able to believe, have your beliefs, just as long as you're not offending someone. You know, have your thoughts, have your everybody's going to have an opinion. Everybody's going to have a thought. Everybody, you know, think what is right, what is wrong. But I mean, just as long as you're not being overly asshole that's offending nobody, like chill out. Like, but no, let's move on. Hockey players, man, y'all should be allowed to do what you want. And like we said, this ain't a bashing homosexual sections of our show, because that's not what we do. So let's understand that and be clear about it. It's just the fact of the matter is that if people have a certain decision that needs to be made, let them allow it. Let them be allowed to have it. Let them be allowed to have that decision. So that's all I'm saying. You know, but no. Let's transition to some March Madness, because it is March, at least the last few days of March. And
Right.
it is madness time because there's been a lot of madness going on. I just want to
Whole
say,
lot.
over in the women's, hopefully y'all been paying attention. UConn is gone.
Bro, I
The
wasn't
first
surprised.
time in 14 years
Mm-hmm.
that the UConn women's basketball team will not be part of the Final Four. Big homie, don't you think that's just a historic streak, bro?
Yeah, I mean, you have to go off to what you kind of done as a program, to have such a great winning streak and everything. But all things come to an end, bro. All things come to an end, and I think what they're doing over there in South Carolina is eclipsing what UConn is doing now. I mean, we got to give him some. I give him some leeway because it has some injuries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, man, look, Tennessee dominated for a while, and Tennessee went away. You know what I'm saying? UConn stepped up. There's UConn turn. Then now that's coming to an end. And now you're looking at South Carolina may be the next one to step up. That's just the cycle of basketball, cycle of sports.
You're not on top of everything.
Yeah, and I mean he did a great job. He's doing a great job. I ain't gonna say he did. He's still doing a great job. He still made the tournament and went to the Sweet 16.
Mm-hmm.
There's still teams on the outside looking in and make it to the first game.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? And despite what he had, with the injuries and stuff, he still overcame that and brought his team to the Sweet 16. So he gets props for that, And they still a historic program. They may be back.
Mm-hmm.
But I still say I'm looking at South Carolina. South Carolina look dominant, bro. But I want to say I got to give a shout out to that dang on Caitlin Clark, boy.
For Iowa,
man, she just Steph Curry of college, bro. She be stepping back. She scored 40 last night.
Yeah, she balled out,
bro. She just be stepping back. Wow.
Yeah, she balled out.
But she be playing. I give her props.
Oh no, you got to give her props. So obviously, Caitlin Clark and Iowa, they punched their ticket to the Final Four as they defeated Louisville 97-83. And then, hey, the Bayou girls of LSU.
Mm-hmm.
I'm liking what Kim Balke is doing over in LSU. Obviously, remember what she did in Baylor with Brittany Griner and all that. But and then she went to LSU and she's been recruiting. Angel Reese, man, she's going to be something nasty when she gets to the WNBA. But LSU, the Lady Tigers, they handle business. They defeated Miami 54-2 as they make their way to the Final Four.
Right.
So you'll see Virginia Tech and Ohio State do battle tonight, and then South Carolina and Maryland do battle. I think that's going to be a good matchup at 7:00 tonight. So that's the women's tournament. So, hey, I agree with you, man. Obviously, I think South Carolina is the odds-on favorite for sure to not only host the trophy, but man, I hope to see LSU and South Carolina in the finals now. I think that'll be a good matchup.
I like to see Iowa and South Carolina.
Well, they'll meet in the Final Four. If South Carolina comes through, so they won't meet in the championship game, unfortunately. Even though I think that'd be even dope. But yeah, man, it's them LSU ladies, man. I like what they doing too. So I'm not going to brush them off just because I know South Carolina's the favorite. But I'm dying to see that in a national championship game. See Angel Reese versus what's Shorty's name in South Carolina. Aaliyah Boston.
Yeah.
So I would love to see them two do battle in the paint and see who pretty much is going to come out on top.
She slimmed up some too, man. She slimmed up some.
Talking about Aaliyah Boston.
Yeah.
I think what it is she realizes the potential she has, and she realizes the greatness that she can be, and I think she's just tapping into another level, bro.
Yeah, because like she got into that weight room and
yes,
you know what I'm saying.
She looks more chiseled.
Right.
It looks a little bit more chiseled.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with you. I saw that too the other day. I was like, yo, Aaliyah kind of look, because when she first came into the media eyes when we first saw her, she was just a big girl.
Like baby.
And yeah, like Baby Diaz.
Yeah. She was like hey, dude. Ho.
Let it spit on in your mouth and shit. So, sorry, Aaliyah Boston, if you ever see this, baby, it's all jokes, baby. But no,
we just messing with you. I still fuck you.
But we just
say it. I don't discriminate.
Yeah, we just trying to show love to you, Aaliyah Boston.
I'm trying to get love to her too.
I can't. I can't with you, dog.
Yeah, and she ain't no joke, bro. I can't talk her no joke.
No. And look, you know what's crazy? Here's one thing I noticed about the women's basketball tournament that I haven't this year. You can point out the individual stars.
Yeah.
In the women's tournament. Caitlin Clark.
That's not on you call.
Leah Boss.
I mean.
Angel Reese.
Mm-hmm.
You could point them out. Well, obviously, if Paige was playing, you'd have been able to point out.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But most time you are looking at the stars on UConn.
Yes. You
know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And now they kind of spread out. I think it makes for a better tournament. I can't say the word. It makes for a better competition. You know what I'm saying? It just makes better when it's spread out and it's evenly kind of distributed. Like you hate just to see like everybody on UConn.
Yeah. No, I feel you. But to my bigger point, you can point out the stars in the women's.
Still drop on the court.
Still drop on the court. You could point out the stars in the women's tournament, and I'm having a hard time finding the stars in the men's tournament.
For real.
Just think about it. The whole tournament. I know we're at the Final Four, but during the whole process, the last couple of weeks, you couldn't point out the individual stars.
There's some people that stepped up, made some good plays, but you ain't really say, "Oh, that's a star. That's a star." Few names here and there, but are they really stars? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it used to be back in the day where you say these are bona fide stars.
Yeah.
Like you don't really see that now in the men's team.
No. And it's weird because but that nigga stacked with Winstrol. Oh yeah. But no, I know homeboy from Kansas State at his moment where he was had the 20 points, 19 assists.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Oh yeah, oh boy, because he messed up the last play. He's supposed to be a bona fide star. He gave the ball up. He's supposed to take the ball up. Supposed to take the shot, bro.
Yeah, I was thinking the same time, like, bro, you got the ball in your hands, last shot, take it.
You know what I'm saying? You win and die by you.
Yeah. We'll get in that in just a second, but it's kind of hard to, there's no Kemba Walkers or there's no Jay Williams or there's no Steph Curry when Steph Curry had that magical run in 08. There's no Carmelo Anthony when Syracuse won the national championship.
Right.
You can't pinpoint just that one star and be like, yo,
right,
nice, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Because what you're looking at this year, obviously, we saw a lot of upsets, a lot of double-digit seeds make it far into this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest about the men's tournament. If anybody had FAU, Miami, who else? San Diego State, UConn in the Final Four. Ain't nobody had that in the Final Four.
I know I didn't.
Matter of fact, every bracket was already busted after the first 2 days. So I know ain't nobody had FAU, San Diego State, Miami, and UConn in the Final Four.
Hell no, especially not Florida Atlantic.
Oh, hell no. So let me ask you this, big homie. you seeing the final four of the team plays. Drugs like that, kids. So you are seeing FAU, San Diego State, Miami, UConn, all good teams make it to the Final Four. This is the year of the team, as it is not about the actual star player of an individual. It's about the team,
right?
And I don't know. I never seen nothing like this. Have you seen anything like this, big man?
Not that I can remember, man. I mean, I just think that because of the one and done thing and other options that players have, it's kind of like open the door for these smaller schools to get in and go far in a tournament, because where you don't have chance to build chemistry when you got a player that comes in from and a transfer portal. You got a kid that comes in. He, because before you build a team, you're gonna get your five main players. Then you bring in some other players that like, and so and so get hurt, or when those players leave, they step right in, so you can keep that cycle going. Now that player come in, he might be your second wave of playing, like, I ain't playing, I'm going to Baylor. He out. Or he have a good year, I'm going to NBA. He out. Or I'm going to overtime league. So there's so many options now that I think when it comes to college basketball, it's going to just be hard to really have that that star you can kind of point out. It's different with football, because an 18-year-old kid can't hang with no 25-year-old man.
Yeah.
Not in football. You ain't fully developed yet.
No.
Versus like, in basketball, it's a little different. So I think, football won't be as effective as it will in basketball. But hey, man, at first I was like, I don't like this. But now I'm starting to like it, man. As it started going, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm still enjoying the women's more. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the men's a little better than I did when it first started. I like to see the dog win.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with a bracket being busted with a whole bunch of underdogs. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But here's my only drawback to having a whole bunch of upsets. So even though a Cinderella team may be better than the All-American team on one day, they're not necessarily better than them all year. They just got to be better than them one day. My only drawback is that if you have so many upsets early, man, you better hope that the Cinderella teams are talented enough that they can still draw ratings after the upset. You know what I'm saying?
I think like some teams people will get behind because of the story, so they'll watch them. Like like Florida Atlantic. I think people can get behind that because people probably watch them play and say, "Oh, they went kind of far. I want to see how far they can go." They get to the championship. People probably watch it because they want to see them win the championship. They get behind them and start to like that team and root for them. Some people like that, but I think what they probably may run into is it happen over and over again. The Cinderella story is only interesting when it happens once every blue moon. When it happens all the time, it's no longer a Cinderella story. It becomes reality. And then it's like, okay, I want to see this shit.
Well, I know there's one team that you don't count on for sure in the tournament.
Oh, can I see it? I told you niggas. Hey, I saw the thing. I saw a thing come across my feed. Was it I think they went to Sweet 16? Is this Gonzaga year? And I saw it on Twitter. I typed in, every year we see this shit, and every year they do the same thing. Mark my word, we'll come back to this tweet, and they'll be out of the tournament. And what happened?
We'll come back to this in a week. We'll come right back to it.
Right. Every year.
Hey, so, but not only did they lose,
they got dog walk.
UConn dog walked them.
I was like, did y'all even show up?
UConn dog walk.
They should say, you know what? About 4 quarters, like, let's get out of here. I think we go to Waffle House or something. They weren't special over there. Get up out of here.
It's
Oh,
every
man.
year though.
Every year though, man.
It's every year, man. And that UConn team, man, they look good, bro. What an amazing bounce back for that. So let's look at the last 20 years for UConn. Jim Calhoun had them boys in the national championship picture just about every year.
Right.
Then he gets ousted. Kevin Ollie comes in. Kevin Ollie, a former NBA player, gets the national championship, and then a couple of years later, he's ousted.
Right.
And then now Dan Worley is in there, and he's revitalized a program that has been good for so many years, but had a couple down years. And when you think of, and it was to the point when you hear UConn, you would think the women's team first.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's how down UConn was getting, and UConn has always been a historic basketball powerhouse. True. And not just the women's, but men and women's. That whole university is a basketball school. They are a basketball school. And that down period, I was like, well, damn, where the hell UConn been? And all of a sudden, tournament pops up, and they over here in the Final Four. And I'm like, well, damn.
I didn't expect that.
I didn't expect that. But this is about Gonzaga, though. This game right here is about Gonzaga. And I don't want to take away from UConn. They played for
Adam Morrison gonna be a star in the NBA.
I can't. You're not wrong though.
They had UCLA that year. They had them down almost 20 points.
Yeah.
Came back and lost. Adam Morrison sitting on the ground crying. Every year, bro. Every year. They're like, oh yeah, this Gonzaga year. Okay, just watch.
So Mark Few can recruit. He can get some players up there. Jalen Suggs is in the league. Y'all saw what he did a couple of years back in the tournament. But yet again, even the good players that he had Chet Holmgren, they can't get to the championship game, man.
Can't do it.
It's like Gonzaga is allergic to it. But here's one of my theories on why they keep doing it. So Gonzaga plays in the West Coast Conference, WCC. And so they're not playing, elite competition. I'm sorry, they're just not.
Yeah. I heard that people say that a lot. Yeah.
I know
they had type 1 diabetes, but I'm still saying fuck Adam Morrison. All right, go ahead.
But when you don't play tough in conference competition and pretty much the only control you got on your schedule is making sure you schedule some tough out of conference competition. And if that's the only competition, and you're going to, and way that the basketball season works out, you're playing that tough competition in the beginning of the year. So you're not playing a true form of what your team is going to end up being come March.
And they to me, they better off having a barely make it into the tournament so they can get a lower seed and play easy games and go and try to run through it, and then get hot for those last couple of games. You can see the high. You're gonna play good teams eventually, and you're gonna get out.
Well, I see what you're saying, as in try to make sure that you get the lower seed, but why even do that and downplay your whole regular season to lower your competition to get a lower seed? Why not just move up to the
that too. Yeah, that too.
Why don't Gonzaga just move up to a tougher basketball conference?
Yeah, do that too.
Hell, you're on the West Coast. Go to the Pac-12. Pac-12.
Yeah, better competition.
It's better competition. You'll face UCLA, who made it to the Elite Eight.
USC.
You'll face
Oregon.
SC. You face Oregon, who all are regular participants in the March Madness. Right. So you're going to face your tougher competition. That gets you. I'm not saying this is going to give you an advantage, but it puts you in a position where I've played tougher competition, so I can, you kind of built to be in tough games. Right. You're built to be in real close games and games that has higher magnitude. You playing this whole regular season, Gonzaga's going to be the favorite to win the conference every year.
Every year.
Mark Few recruits well. So if you got all these nice recruits that you keep recruiting and go up to Gonzaga, then go play.
Pac-12 NFC East. Wow.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, Arizona too, MJ. Arizona.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right, MJ. Arizona's in the Pac-12 too, but hey, Arizona keeps coming up lane too. Yeah. Remember Matt? Remember MJ? They come anyway. Now, but no, I'm just saying, Gonzaga, you gotta start playing some tougher competition.
Man, just get the hell out of Washington.
And get ready for a tournament where you're gonna have to high stake games every time you play. I don't know. Hey, just start. It's almost like a I don't want to say. I'm trying to find the right words for it. You know, when you do certain things over and over, you get
insanity.
Get used to being in those type of situations. I don't know.
Get complacent.
Yeah, I think that's what it is too.
Mm-hmm.
Because Gonzaga sits there in that conference. They get complacent. They're like, yeah, we're going to win the conference again. And, yeah, we're going to be in a tournament again.
Right.
But then you come in and you're not mentally ready for what's about to happen. And then they tease us. They mess with us year in and year out. And
no, they tease y'all year in year out. I'm not surprised. I'll be anytime now. The real Gonzaga, they gonna show up. Trust me.
And the real Gonzaga, please stand up.
Right. They gonna show up.
Boy. But come on, man. That beatdown wasn't even funny.
I mean, it wouldn't be as bad if they would have played a great game and lost. They got dog walk, right?
Yeah.
It's nothing you can say. Nothing you can say to me.
Nah. Now I'm going back to Friday's game. Alabama getting taken out by San Diego State.
Right.
I didn't see that happening.
I didn't either. I mean, Alabama was the favorite to win it all.
Yeah. Brandon Miller came up lame. Had a bad shooting night.
He should have brought that gun with him that game.
I see what you did there.
I shot a little better than you.
But you know what? I think homie was under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, but that's sports, bro.
Yeah,
that's the limelight. That's part of being a star.
You're right. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying because of his very unique situation that he, voluntarily put himself in. Let's just be honest about it.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people that did not want him playing. True. And I can understand why people didn't want him playing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But for real, I can understand why people didn't want him playing. Because like, let's look at the facts of the situation. Anytime a dude tell you, "Yo, let me get the strap," and you go bring it to him, I don't care what. Oh, I didn't know he. Come on, man. You had to knew something stupid was about to happen. He asked you for the strap, and you gladly, voluntarily came and gave it to him.
Right.
So, how I see it,
I don't know, man. I'm looking at Ant's comment too. He said had an easy role in the playoffs. They haven't played anybody, but I mean they play competition during the regular season. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like Gonzaga who didn't play nobody. They come into a tournament. They still play pretty good competition during the regular season.
Yeah,
I mean
in the regular season, yeah. But I mean to Ant's point. I mean, look at your road. So you had Maryland, you had Texas A&M, Corpus Christi.
But Texas A&M beat them.
No, Texas A&M, Corpus Christi.
Oh, Corpus Christi. Oh,
yeah. So you got a 16 seed in the 8 seed in Maryland that you beat both pretty handedly, and so just the region that they were number 1 overall seed in. I can see Ant's point where those first 2 games, they ain't playing the best of the best in the tournament. They what they did playing in the SEC where they see Texas A&M, they see Tennessee, they see Missouri, who was ranked as well. So it's totally different from when they get into the tournament. The first 2 games you get is a Maryland who barely made it into the tournament, and then a Texas A&M CC who had to play in to get beat by you. So I mean, I can understand. I can understand Ed's point right there for sure. But no, look, I never thought I'd see FAU in a Final Four. I thought I'd never see Miami in a Final Four. Now you got both of them in the Final Four. San Diego State, which, by the way, San Diego State has actually kind of been one of those teams that's been like under the radar for a lot of years.
Yeah, even in football.
Yeah, even in football. Yeah. So I mean, but they always, especially this time of year, they manage to always kind of be one of those consistent teams in the tournament as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I don't know how you. I don't see how this Final Four is going to end, but I will say this.
Yeah, I don't think to make a prediction.
Yeah. Oh, trust. I'm not asking for a prediction because I don't even know what to predict my damn self with this situation.
But I would say this. I wouldn't mind seeing Miami or FAU winning it. I think it'd be a good story for Miami since the football program not where it used to be, and kind of help bring some light to that university who was all about football for so long.
Yeah,
and kind of lost that. And then for FAU, it'd be nice to win so they can kind of it help them recruiting. Hey, that we won a national championship.
Yeah,
so help them recruit and get some more players down there. So I wouldn't mind seeing them do that. I mean, that's my third pick. I wouldn't mind seeing San Diego. After that, I don't care.
Yeah, because FAU and San Diego State got to be like your not so usual suspects,
right?
That you could easily find a way through for. Of course, like you said, with Miami being known as a football school, just to see them make it and get a national championship, that's a good story for them. And of course, UConn has a story themselves. Hey, we back. We was down, and y'all just.
UConn story is nice, but it's not as great as the other three.
No,
they've been there before.
Yeah, they've been there before.
Right. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off, but yeah.
No, you're right. I agree with you. It's just you can make the media right now can make a story for all 4 of these teams.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And at some point they leading up to Saturday, they'll find a story for each team find something that somebody can gravitate to go root for these squads. So I could definitely see that happening for sure. But let's transition because but we'll stick in a world of basketball. We'll just talk about the professional league, the NBA.
A shout out to Luka getting technical.
His 16th, he's going to miss a game.
Right.
He got his 16th, so he's going to miss a game. All that whining and bitching and moaning and groaning you doing. But I'm glad you're there. I'm glad you're there. So let's talk about the Mavericks, man. So they make the trade, get Kyrie. He's been in and out of the lineup. So is Luka for whatever reason, whether it's injury or just time or load management. They're sitting at the 11th spot right now. They're technically on the outside of the play-in tournament, looking in.
Right.
So let me ask you this. What is there to keep Kyrie there past this year?
Kyrie. That's it. only he, you know what I'm saying? And I mean that as an insult or anything. I'm just saying, but the only thing keeping there is him. You know what I'm saying? He had to see something there. Here's my thing. I tweeted that mail the other day about this. I said the fact that they're losing, the media gonna start jumping on Kyrie and blaming Kyrie for this, where they're not looking at the fact that it's the same problem you've been having since Luka been here. It's a ball dominant player trying to play with different players is not going to work because of the type of play that Luka plays, the type of basketball Luka plays. It's just not going to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He doesn't play defense.
No.
He's a prolific scorer. I'll give him that.
Yeah, and that's fine.
That's fine. But then you need to run plays, where you get him in scoring, where you set him up to score instead of him creating plays and dominating the ball the whole time. Where you can get other people involved. See, to me, that works better than the way they're playing now. So that doesn't make sense. And it shows that ain't working because they ain't won nothing.
Yeah. And it's crazy because, here's the thing. I can understand having like a forward like Luka or LeBron being your primary basketball handler. That's fine. It's fine, in my opinion, when you don't have a point guard. But you have Kyrie freaking Irving, who is a prolific point guard.
Right.
That's what it makes no sense to take the hands out of a point guard's hands, who is a prolific point guard, not only as an assistant, but he's a prolific scorer.
Right.
He's a shot creator. He is a bucket getter. And not only is he a bucket getter, he can create opportunities for other guys to possibly be open to get an easier shot. Let him be the one to do that. Point blank period. Let him. Kyrie should be running the show in Dallas.
Setting Luka up.
Yes.
Imagine like if you play a game where you Kyrie comes down, he draws a double team, kicks out to Luka scores. Luka draws a double team, he kicks a Kyrie kicks it up. You're getting a whole team involved where we gotta play defense on a whole team and not just two players.
And I'm still waiting for Christian Wood to finally bust out.
It was just said the tech got rescinded and Ant said Luka's playing tonight.
Okay, so he playing tonight. Okay, so
that's garbage, man. Why rescind it?
It's Luka. You get certain cachet and benefit of the doubt when you're a good player. When you're one of those names, and Luka's one of those names right now in the league where he's going to sell tickets, he's going to bring ratings because that's what people want to see. That's just in general. It's because they don't play defense. This is what we didn't speak of. Speaking of defense, the end of that FAU and Kansas State game, I need the NBA to watch that. Yes, because that was good defense. Now you're right. Homeboy shouldn't have gave the ball up, but they kind of forced them because they was like, nah, we ain't letting this get off, get the last shot.
But he came down the court.
Yeah,
he didn't allow the double team to draw towards him before he kicked it to my man. So I'm saying it's like he should have when they come to him and go more towards the wing. So when they come over, they got further to go back to play the double team. He kicked out to my man. My man could have shot the shot then. You know what I'm saying? They were standing next to each other, basically. So all you do is run over there. My man hit the ball. Yeah, spacing was horrible. Then my man hit the ball, game over. You only had a little bit of time.
But I will give FAU credit because they played good defense, trap defense on that final play. And I'm not trying to backtrack in the show, but I just wanted to point that out because that's one thing I definitely wanted to talk about. And talking about the NBA, it kind of sparked my mental on that because I'm looking at plays like that, and I'm looking at on what can be done in the NBA if you play defense. Like Dallas, you're not sitting here on the outside looking in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What's up, Cool? How you doing, man? And so when you see Dallas struggling right now, for me, there's no way Kyrie comes back to Dallas next year. There's nothing keeping him there.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Where you go though?
Come on, man. I think it's either two places, LA or Phoenix.
LA or Phoenix.
Yeah. Obviously, reunite with LeBron because they know how to win a championship together.
Right.
And trust me, the way that LeBron's been playing lately, as in, whether he's hurt or he's, low managing, Kyrie can be the next best option because you can't sit here and say, hey, are you still going to put all the weight on AD? You know what happens when you put too much weight on AD?
Yeah, it's going to break an ankle. Kyrie still being himself. I mean, here's my thing, man. I think what Dallas needs to do is they need to just go ahead and just realize that Luka needs to play a different style of ball and do it. Or all you're gonna do is every year we'll be talking about Dallas the same way. They're scoring all these points, but they ain't winning nothing.
The crazy thing, bro. The crazy thing though is the coach is Jason Kidd, who's on a lot of people's list of top point guards in NBA history.
Who knows how much Mark Cuban got is involved in that?
No, you're right. I
you know what I'm saying? He might be I hear what you're saying, but we've been running this way. How we gonna run it? We don't know that. You know what I'm saying? You would think because Jason Kidd, the type of point guard he was, he would run a different style of offense, but she ain't doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like you in all of watching them score. Yeah, scoring is nice and scoring makes the highlights, but it's not winning championships.
No.
You know,
I agree. But no, to me, there's no way Kyrie comes back to Dallas next year. He's got to have his eyes set on joining either Phoenix or LA. I mean, it's
I like him in Phoenix.
Hey, you swap out Chris Paul for Kyrie, and then you got Booker and KD and DeAndre Ayton.
Chris Paul, you go ahead and still make them commercials, retire, and let Kyrie come up in there.
Boy, that'd be a deadly little
got
squad.
A nice little team.
Yeah, that'd be a nice little squad.
Right.
And just
go ahead.
And just think of the veterans you could get on a minimum wage.
Right.
At minimum to come join Phoenix.
Because you don't really need with that squad right there, your starting five right there, you really don't need a prolific player. You need somebody just kind of come in, maybe grab a couple rebounds here, come in, rotate, play a little defense, go on back out. That's all you need. Somebody to give some people some breaks, basically.
Yep.
That's all you need. Maybe smooth.
Oh, AP. He said, I'll pick CP3 over Kyrie.
Ooh. Why you say that? I got to hear why you said it.
Please explain that one, because
I want to hear why you said it for a comment.
Because, just me personally, I'm picking Kyrie over CP3 just for the fact that, age-wise, yeah. Because Kyrie's about to be 29, 30, and you're talking about a 37 CP3 who's already showing that he's already missing. He's going to miss significant time at some point in the regular season, and you better hope that he's available in the playoffs. Now, don't get me wrong, CP3 has the basketball IQ. I would say, he's playing a lot more basketball than Kyrie, and there's going to be a certain different style of leadership that you're going to get from CP3. I can't ignore this.
CP3 is the Gonzaga of the NBA. Mic drop.
He's gonna set you up, let you down. Hey, that's crazy. He said this Gonzaga of the NBA. But back to Ed's comment, he said, "Can we talk about the Lakers play better than LeBron?" And look, when we had Mel on here about a couple of weeks ago, he said he went to a Lakers game, and after they kind of made the trades to get certain players in there, he said the ball movement was good. It wasn't so just stuck in LeBron's hands, and wasn't so.
It's not patent. You can still look cool.
He said you just pick him because he can score a lot. Chris Paul is the team. He makes the team better, and he plays every game. And I don't agree with he plays every game, because we know he don't miss.
What makes a team better? You make a team better because they win regular games, or you make a team better because they win championships?
Now, I will say championships. I will say this. I have Chris Paul seen him go to an Oklahoma City team that had no business taking him to the playoffs, and he did help you take it to the playoffs. I will say that. He does make a difference with your team. The only problem is that, am I going to have him available when it matters? Are you going to have him available in late April, in May, when it comes to playoff time in the league? Is he going to be there?
Right.
Or hell, we saw it even last playoff season. Chris Paul, for some reason, couldn't make a basket. He was assistant, which is cool.
Yeah.
But he couldn't make a basket when it mattered. I know that if I got Kyrie, not only is he going to assist, but I know he's going to be able to get the baskets. That's a difference.
Here's my thing, man. Just look at it from just a strictly basketball sense. If I'm choosing between the two, now you talking about a young Chris Paul, we have a different argument. If you talk about Chris Paul as he is, Kyrie as he is.
Yeah, because young Chris Paul was a nasty, bro.
You know what I'm saying? You rather have Kyrie now because Kyrie is a younger player and probably play more games than Chris Paul will, especially if you're going into that long playoff run.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a fact. Those are just facts. Now, if you're just talking about overall game, then we might have a different discussion. But if you're just talking about Kyrie as he is, Chris Paul as he is,
right now,
you take Kyrie, he's the better player because he's younger and is going to stay healthier than an older Chris Paul at 37 years old.
Mhm.
And who happens sometimes disappears in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Kyrie doesn't disappear in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, those are just facts.
Yeah.
So it's like
that's just what we see from from both players.
Right. So. That's why I say I'd rather have Kyrie. The hell did it come from? I'll try to click on this. This just pop up.
Yeah, we'll get to that in just a second. Cool. Because Lamar definitely finna roll out.
Yeah.
But back to the Lakers conversation. So Melvin Wall, man, now sports, shout out to him. He was like, yeah, even before LeBron started missing his time, you can see that the ball movement was there. The ball wasn't being so stuck in LeBron's hand. But since LeBron has been out, hey, as much as we make fun of Anthony Davis, I got to give him his credit. I got to give him his props, man. He's been putting in some crazy games, stat wise. For the Lakers, he's getting, averaging down there 30 points and 15 rebounds, and he's doing things that hasn't been done since Shaquille O'Neal in the Lakers uniform. So I got to give him his props right there. So he's been holding it down. The only problem is that it's almost, I don't want to say it's too late for the Lakers, but it's just like y'all kind of put yourself, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's too late. You know what I'm saying? So it's why all of a sudden this humongous sense of urgency now? Like, y'all should have had this sense of urgency a long time ago. Hell, y'all should have built your team different a long time ago.
Yeah, that's the key right there. That's what they do, man. That's what they've been doing. That's what been the MO since LeBron been there. It's like, we're gonna try. We wait to the end of the year, try to do this big old push, and then sometimes they be so far back that it's just too late.
Yeah,
too
late.
Too little, too late. That's been his MO since he been in LA, man.
Yeah, and Matt, that's a good point. I mean, don't get me wrong. As much as AD has been balling out for the Lakers and pretty much been carrying the squad, I'm waiting for another shoe to drop. I'm waiting for the AD miss a game here, miss a week or 2 weeks of high ankle sprain. I'm waiting for it because I'm like, I just got a gut feeling at some point in time it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. It's like it's damn near like it's bound to happen. It's weird. It's weird like that. And they got 7 games left to see if they really bout it, or it's just fool's gold. They're sitting in the playing tournament at the 9 seed. But let's just look at this. So look at the 4 seed in the West, where Phoenix is at. Mm-hmm. They're 39 and 35. 39 and 36 Clippers, the 5 seed. 39 and 37 the Golden State Warriors, 6 seed. 38-37 Minnesota, 7 seed. 37-37 New Orleans, 8 seed. 37 and 38 9 seed Lakers. 37 and 38 10 seed Oklahoma City Thunder. 36 and 39 11 seed on the outside Dallas Mavericks. And then you got the 35 and 39 Utah Jazz at the 12 seed. So literally between 4 and 12 is a difference of 4 games. Literally 4 games.
So that can change drastically.
And it's primarily probably each team probably got 7 games left to play in the season. I mean, there's a lot of movement that can happen within the next 2 weeks, bro.
Right.
This is about to be probably the wildest 2 weeks of the regular season NBA season I've ever can recall seeing. I mean, literally, the West is literally from 4 to 12 is 4 games. Mm-hmm. It happened right here. And so when you see these injuries, this matters.
It does.
When you see these bad games, it matters. I mean, you don't want to keep having. So, for instance, Paul George with the Clippers injury, he might be out for a few weeks. That's it. That's a bad blow. Mm-hmm. It's sitting in 5 seed. They might They might mess around in 2 weeks, be in a play-in tournament, or hell, be out. Phoenix, you can't sleep on them. Hell, KD still hasn't played in a while. Only played 3 games as a Phoenix Sun anyway, but still, he's not there. Chris Paul is bound to get hurt at any point in time. Phoenix sitting in a 4 seed. 2 weeks from now, we don't know where they're gonna be because of injuries like that. Warriors kind of been slumping. They can't win on the road. That's a problem.
I agree with that, Ant. I was
No,
thinking
you
the same
can't count them
thing.
out.
I'm
I'm
thinking
with
the same thing.
you can't. Okay, so let's talk about the Warriors. Look, I understand you can't count them out because of the shooting that they got with Clay and Steph. That's understandable. And they do play good total team defense overall for the most part. Here's my issue. If Clay can't get off and the defense hones in on Steph, who's your third scorer? I don't care what nobody say. They're missing Andrew Wiggins. Yeah. They're missing the hell out of Andrew Wiggins right now.
Mm-hmm.
You gave that money to Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole's streaky.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah, he had games where you like, oh my God, he's unstoppable. He had games like, what the hell? And he bring out Otto Porter.
But I mean,
I'm back one of Chamberlain's kids.
Oh yeah, AP. I agree with you. They need Wiggins back. And let's talk about Andrew Wiggins' situation. I know there's been that thing about his wife messing with his best friend, having a baby by him. She said it's not true. It's a lie. People making us up. So we don't know why.
What else she gonna say?
Well, I mean,
yeah. Let's see when the baby come out. That's when the proof.
Yeah, so we don't know the true reason why Andrew Wiggins is missing his personal time.
Right?
We have no idea, but they need him. He was a huge difference maker. They miss his defense, and they miss his ability to still drop in 20, 25 points.
Right.
Along with that, so they miss it. Look, I don't care what anybody say. Jordan Poole to me, I know they gave him the extension over Draymond Green, and I don't know. They might might probably slightly regret that a little bit. I mean, you hit it on the head. Jordan Poole's just too streaky. You don't get that consistency from him like you do a like a Clay or Steph. You don't get that consistency from him. So I don't know. It's you have what I'm not saying that Wiggins is out because his wife cheated, but that's what they saying might be the reason, because he's dealing with some personal issues. So we don't know what the true reason is.
Man.
That was just out as in saying that was the reason. I don't know.
I'm just gonna have to quote Future here: "Chase a check, don't chase a bitch." Mask off. Mask off.
Mask off. But I mean, overall, I agree with you. I agree with and you don't write them off because they are defending champions. They still are dangerous. It's just that.
Yeah, you're right.
When you can't win on the road, bro. Like, my goodness. And I'm talking about they're going on bad road games where they're losing to like Oklahoma Cities and teams like that. And I'm like, what is Golden State doing? Like, you get out of the Bay Area and you forget how to play ball again?
Right. And you go back to Oakland and get out of San Francisco.
And look, can we stay in Oakland? Nah.
Right. Oakland, get that grit back. Go to San Francisco, man.
Hey, that might be it. You over there in tech world in San Francisco.
You know what I'm saying? Get back on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah.
For real. Get back where the niggas at.
Yeah. And that's why I'm with you, Ant, because playing shooters like Clay and Steph in the same game series is a difference.
I mean, here's the thing with the Warriors, man. It's like Steph and Clay is getting off. All you need is one more player to get off. And you know what I'm saying? The way they play defense, they could beat anybody at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what makes him dangerous. Draymond is a wild factor because you don't know what he's gonna do, how he's gonna do. He's a
9
great
and 29
passer.
on the road. Oh my gosh, that's
There's a
disgusting.
9. Damn, that's
Yeah,
sorry. That's dang.
that's disgusting.
Yeah, that is. Draymond, great passer, not much of a shooter. So it's kind of like, what do you do? Do you move on from Draymond now? That's another thing you gotta look at. If I'm next year, do you move on from Draymond?
I was actually surprised that they hung on to it this year, to be honest.
I mean, is his antics becoming more of a distraction than anything else?
Well, to really answer that question, I don't know if his antics are becoming a distraction. Yeah, because his antics that he's doing now has always been the same antics that he's done.
Yeah, but stuff get old after a while.
Yeah. Oh. Especially when you're 9 and 29 on the road. Yeah.
Yeah. That's like we 9-29 in a row, and you still doing this shit.
Yeah. So I mean, look, you not. I understand where you're coming from on that. It's just that for Draymond Green, I would thought that he would have quieted down just a tad bit more, just because he is getting older. He is getting closer to the end of his career, and my thing is Draymond Green made his career on what worked well for the Warriors.
Yeah,
I don't know what his career would look like if he went to the Chicago Bulls or the Orlando Magic. I don't even think. Matter of fact, I'm willing to bet
like Chuck Davis' career.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like if I'm willing to make a prediction, I would have predicted that his career would have been that of an NBA journeyman, and he got drafted somewhere else.
Yeah, I agree.
Because his assisting and his facilitating could have kept him in the league, but his antics would have got him pushed out of team to team. You know what I'm saying? And so he was allowed to be Draymond Green in Golden State, and it helped get 4 championships. And so what he's doing and what he's done, to me, only fits in Golden State.
I don't know, Ant. I don't know about that one.
I don't know, bro.
The Bulls don't really have much. So him adding to the team, what are you gonna really add to the team? The Heat is like in so much disarray down there.
I don't even know what the Heat are doing. What are they doing?
It's like he would just be more of a distraction than anything else down in Miami. And I don't think Jimmy putting up with all that.
I don't even recognize the Heat, bro.
I don't either.
Like, I know they sitting at the 7th seed, but boy, that is not the same Heat squad that I'm used to seeing over the last few years that are tough, rugged.
Right.
And hell, they were just in the Eastern Conference Finals last year.
Mm-hmm.
They don't look like an Eastern Conference Final team this year. Yeah.
They don't at all.
No. But I don't know. It's Dre to me, Draymond should find a way to quiet down a little bit more and just,
I don't know, man. I think you hit my man. I was kind of like through him after that.
Oh, when he snuffed him?
Yeah.
Oh, you pretty much done with him after that, huh?
But I think it's like, man, that's your teammate.
Yeah.
If anything, you know what I'm saying, y'all saw that off camera for one thing, and y'all saw that somewhere privately. Why you hit my, why you gonna just sneak my man? I won't call it sneak, because when somebody push you, you gotta be ready to fight. So I don't call it sneak. But my thing is like, why you hit my man? Then because something he said.
Oh yeah, definitely something he said.
Then you need to man up. That's like bitch assness.
I smell boozy.
Yeah, that's bitch assness, man.
You kind of made like a little bitch,
right? Come on, man. I'll laugh through him. My thing is different when you have these antics and you get into the heads of other teams. You know what I'm saying? Because that helps your team.
Let me ask you this though, Big Homie. So you saying you were done with Draymond Green when he punched Jordan Poole back at training camp? So let me ask you this: Is there a possible way that maybe that friction probably hasn't deteriorated enough that they can't?
That's between Poole's mama and him. I don't know my mama like that. Mama might be cut like that. You know what I'm saying? She might be a thought. She might get down like that. I don't know. I'm here to play basketball. You know what I'm saying? I'll worry about that later.
Hey, man. What was wrong with you, man? there's something like fundamentally wrong with you. You are not
I
white.
can't stop my mama from getting her grind on.
Yo, stop, bro. Yo, chill, fam.
Now you were saying?
Yeah, I was saying we was actually trying to talk sports over here.
I'm trying to answer my man's comment, sir.
No, what I was saying to you is like how much do you think that situation in training camp might probably still be lingering on? And
it could be, man. It could be, man. Because you know, I'm thinking like this. You know, the whole team could be affected by it. It may be something that's not consciously thinking about. It could be something that's unconscious there. Because sometimes, you know, you carry something against somebody and it's under your subconscious. You know what I'm saying? And it could be affecting them. I'm not gonna put it all on that. You know what I'm saying? But it could be part of the reason why. And not really gelling together. You know, that could be part of the reason, man. And that's why I said. That's why I went back to my original point statement is it time to get rid of him? Because, like I said, it's different when you're doing it and it affects the other team because you're getting the other team out of the game. When you bringing us home and you getting us out of our game, then you're a hindrance more than you are a help. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? What if I'm sitting down and I'm looking at you, what do you my pros and cons list of you? What do you bring to the team? You're not bringing points to the team. All right, okay, you can facilitate, but so can majority of people on the team. So I mean, okay. So the only thing you really got is that you run your mouth. That's what you stand out between out of all of them.
Well, Draymond Green might be the Udonis Haslem that actually makes it to the court for the Warriors. You know, the cheerleader.
Nigga, we got bitches on the sideline doing that. We don't need him. We pay this nigga that for. We pay this nigga that for. You know what I'm saying? I'm good with that. Hey, get your leave from your crib.
Hey man,
I ain't gotta pay you this.
I don't know, man. I think Draymond's time is up too. I don't know if his time is up in the league. Some team will.
Some people probably pick him up. I'm gonna go on state and I look at what we done and what we have and how much time we have left on what we have.
Yeah,
I'm looking at trying to make another run before my players get old. So I'm like, get rid of him, bring somebody in that can really, you know, that can score and bring something to the table. Basically, that's what I'm looking at. So I can make another run, maybe get another 2, maybe 3 championships.
Yeah,
before Steph and Clay get too old. They're not aging backwards. So that's all I would do. This is business.
Well. You got some interesting points right there. I feel you. Let me ask you this: when you when you get to a point where you won so much, how long do you think you should stick with that same formula before you feel like that formula is no longer working?
I think after like a second run and you see it ain't working, it's time to revamp. You know, the first time you can say, okay, it's a fluke. Let's try to run it back, see what happened. Didn't it happen again? Okay. Last year, was it last year they won? Or last year before last?
Yeah, they're defending champs. Yep.
Yeah, they defending champs. So last year they won. Okay. But look how the season went.
Mm-hmm.
You know, season didn't go too well. Not like a Warriors season. We usually seeing the Warriors dominate their way all the way through.
Yeah.
They wasn't doing that. So to me, that's a sign right there. Okay, yeah, we won the championship, but we're still not that same team we used to be. So now I'm kind of looking. Now this year comes and we struggling again. It's time to revamp.
Okay.
I'm not just looking at that one championship. I'm looking at how we got there. Well, where our standards at? Okay, this is our standard. We played below our standard, even though we did achieve the ultimate goal. We still played below our standard. You always want to play to your standard or above. And then, you know what I'm saying? Then you look at this year, and look at, okay, we below our standard again. let's switch some of this junk up. And after what he did with Poole, he was the first one I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what is he really bringing? I can't get nowhere else and cheaper probably. That's another thing. I can get Draymond Green cheaper.
The person that does what he does, hell yeah.
I can get that cheaper.
Oh yeah.
Memphis got one over there doing that.
That's without a doubt. You know what I'm saying? I definitely agree with you right there. You could definitely get I guess
Gary Payton coming back. I like Gary Payton Jr.
No, I'm glad they brought Gary Payton back.
I like Gary Payton Jr.
They probably shouldn't even let him walk out the door last year anyway. But of course, it has that inevitable drop off all the time.
Right? Yeah, and that's my point though. Cool. Like you know that's coming up. Yeah. That's inevitable. That's inevitable. You can't escape that. You know that's coming up. So now you gotta look at what can I do to get that second push to maybe try to squeeze me another one, maybe 2 or 3 championships out of here.
You going too far, bro.
Because look, you got look at it like this. You can take when your players age, you put them in different roles. They still shooting. They just can't probably run up and down the court. So you get other pieces in there to kind of take over, like maybe the more handling the ball. You kick out the Clay. Kick out the Steph and let them shoot. They still probably can shoot. You probably can get up and down the court like these big too.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, so you get players around them. You start bringing those players in around that can handle the ball, do more other stuff, let them shoot as they age. You play towards their age, and you still can build championships and get a couple, 2, 3, maybe 2 or 3 championships out of them before it's time for them to go ahead and retire.
That's why, based off of what you're saying, which I agree with you, you can still find ways to win. But this is why it's important for Jordan Poole
right
be more consistent.
Facts.
This is why it's important for him to be more consistent.
Mm-hmm.
You can't keep having these inconsistent games or these inconsistent stretches where he's 2 up or 2 down. He needs to be at an even level, and be consistent at a certain level that when Steph or Clay ain't having their best shooting night.
Right.
He's that option that's still scoring, that's still bringing points and buckets. I don't know. He's Jordan Poole needs to figure that out, and I'm
not surprised. Right.
It's still up to the players as Steph and Clay and as of right now, Draymond to still, not alter the way of playing game, but you're not the same quick twitch guys that can just run up and down the court like that. So it takes some adjusting personally for them as individuals to be conscious and be realistic. Like hey, I'm 33, 34. I ain't moving like I was at 27, 26.
For real.
It just happens. It happens in normal life. That happens to us. It happens to you. It happens to everybody watching. Right. Everybody will not move the same way the more you graduate in years. You just don't.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, I agree with you. You gotta get younger and faster.
Oh yeah, gotta get, but still skilled. Yeah, you're right, and that's why I'm saying it's very important for Jordan Poole to get more consistent. And here's one thing. I thought the Warriors gave up on James Wiseman too quick, man.
I think so too.
They really weren't using him. And they put him in the G League to let him develop. And you got a bona fide young 7-footer that can be a difference maker and actually is a skilled 7-footer. I'm not saying he's going to be up to the likes of Joel Embiid or Karl Anthony Towns.
On that team, he don't have to be.
Exactly.
Where he's at, he don't have to be.
No. But now that he's in Washington, he's going to tap into those type of situations because they're going to call upon him more often than they would in Golden State. So I don't know. I just think Golden State, with the coaching staff that they had and Steve Kerr and his coaching staff, they would have been, smart enough to find a way to use him. And my thing is you can, because if Kevin Looney, who's pretty much been finding a way to stay alive in Golden State with his career. James Wiseman could have done the same thing, and he's been younger, and he's legit 7-footer. So I didn't. They moved off of him a little bit way too quick for my liking. That's just me.
I agree.
But who else in the West, man? Who in this whole 4-12 seed of madness that you think can either accelerate their chances or decrease your chances? Any other team that's sticking out to you right now?
What's happening in Memphis?
Well, they're the 2 seed, and they already got their spot clinched in the playoffs.
Okay. I didn't hear you mention them. I was like, I ain't remember Memphis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're 47-27. The only thing that can happen with Memphis is they got their playoff spot clinched. The only thing that they can lose is seeding if they just go on a crazy. But it would have to be like a crazy slump because the only team that's close to them is Sacramento at 45.
Minnesota's always interesting. Cool. Minnesota's one of them teams, man. Like,
it just got Karl Anthony Towns back.
They get in, they make it interesting, but then you know what I'm saying, they end up losing some kind of way. Like that series last year was actually a good series to watch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he just couldn't pull it out.
That's my only knock. That's my only knock on Minnesota.
It's Minnesota.
Well, not that. I didn't like the fact that they gave up a lot to get Rudy Gobert.
Yeah,
we're talking about Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
Like, come on. First of all, and I get why they did it. Because Karl Anthony Towns, he wants to be the all-around big man that's 7 foot, that can dribble, shoot, does everything. He wants to be that. And the only way he feels he can do that is if he has another big man to take the defensive responsibilities away from him, and he can focus on all those other things.
Rudy Gobert is like getting an escort with 300,000 miles on it, and you paying premium price for it. You know what I'm saying?
Like, why am I paying this premium money, bro? You ain't got no premium Gucci.
That's an escort. Why are you paying him kind of money for this?
But I'm saying, 300,000 miles, man, there ain't no premium Gucci no more. And wait, now you gotta lower these dollars. I need to pay you according to your mileage.
Right. For real.
Now, I agree with you, Koo. That Gobert trade didn't make sense, but their philosophy is give the defensive responsibility to Rudy Gobert, and he can just sit there, rebound, play defense, and then it frees up Karl Anthony Towns so he can roam as a big guy. Yeah, the only problem is he's been hurt. You know, he's been hurt. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, he just got back. And, outside of Karl Anthony Towns and and Anthony Edwards, you don't really find a lot of anything else with Minnesota that they do great outside of Anthony Edwards and Big Cat.
Right.
I mean, no, man.
I don't know, man. I mean, but it's still interesting. I don't disagree with what Cool was saying. It's still interesting. It's just that as far as it goes, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Who else down there at the bottom? Dallas? I mean,
yeah, we already talked about Dallas.
But Dallas to me is just like, you're not gonna win playing that game, depending on the game style of play y'all playing. So it doesn't matter. They get a little push, get a play-in tournament. They ain't gonna win nothing.
I'm also looking at New Orleans.
Yeah.
Like the Pelicans, there were points in time that the Pelicans were one of the hottest teams in the West this year.
Yep.
And I gotta say it. The boy Zion Williamson was part of that.
Yeah, he was.
But the only problem is we're still dealing with Zion and injuries. Missing time. I mean, this guy hasn't played.
He ain't played a full season yet?
No, he didn't play the full season, but I'm saying this guy hasn't. The last time he played, his most recent game is January 2nd.
Oh, shoot, dang.
That's his most recent game is January 2nd. I mean, we're in almost April now, and as much criticism that we give Anthony Davis
Mm-hmm.
about being injury prone. This man Zion Williamson can't stay healthy, bro, and that's been his MO since he's been drafted in the league.
Right.
You know, and AP. You know, I know that's a joke, but it's serious though. AD is playing more than Zion, and that's sad. It is. I mean, this man Zion is 22, 21 years old and can't stay on the court, man.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man.
But look how good this team is playing without him. Just imagine
They
what
did it last year, though.
Yeah, they did it last year. You're right.
They did it last year. So my thing is like, so now what do you do? The man can't stay healthy.
Oh, they already gave him the contract extension. They got no choice. They're stuck now, bro.
There's always a will, there's a way.
Nah. Well, I mean, okay, you're right. The only way that they can fix it is find a fool enough, dumb enough to fall for the potential of Zion Williamson and take him in a trade.
It is a fool everywhere, found every day. There's a fool found every day.
Not wrong.
You know what I'm saying? Every day.
You're not wrong, though.
I mean, I don't know. I think I'd have waited if I gave him the money anyway to see what he's gonna do.
Oh,
that's just me, bro. You got a history of being injured. I'm gonna give you a contract? Oh no, I can't do that. I don't understand why they did that.
Because they felt that with him coming up to I don't know. I guess you feel like when you get somebody high in the draft, you feel like you got obligated to go through every means to make sure that they succeed with your uniform on.
Yeah,
my thing is like,
yeah, I agree with that. I don't disagree with that. I guess my thing is like, if I see what you've been producing, I gotta give you another year to see what you're gonna do. And then if I didn't pay you and I see what you're doing now, I'll move on.
And that's the thing. The Pelicans didn't have to pay him.
Yeah.
They didn't have to give him that contract extension.
Because you look at what the team is doing without him. They're actually playing pretty decent without him. And that's your best player. And you still playing pretty decent without him.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if you can get another player in a draft or in a trade, or with a trade for him, how much better you can be. Because he's not staying healthy.
At all.
At all. And all. You just sitting there just throwing money out the window, basically, because he's just sitting there. He ain't playing.
No. And it's foolish, bro. It's absolutely foolish because they did it a year too early. Because I think he would have been, I don't know if he'd been a restricted free agent just going into the summer. But either way, regardless, you don't lock in a player that can't even, lock himself in and being on the court.
Right.
And you gave him hundreds of $1 million, guaranteed. And it's so crazy how good the Pelicans have been playing last year and this year, and what they can possibly be if Zion stays healthy. I don't know. Me personally, I wouldn't to sign him to the extension, but I want to find a way to at least
gave me an out in his contract. I'd have signed him to. I'd have found a way to give me an out on his contract.
Oh, with it, like you said, there's a will.
I'm saying, but even when I did the contract, I'd have wrote in there an out for the organization if he gets hurt.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
That's all of that.
Hey, I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Yeah, that's what I would do. That way, he hurt. Don't worry about it.
No,
you good, bro. Don't worry about it.
MJ, what you meant to say is Zion Williamson's extremities are built like a wet paper bag.
Right.
Yeah. Because that man getting toe up, dog. He can't stay on the court, man. But speaking of contracts, as we transition to NFL, and then of course the biggest contract that isn't getting received yet is that of Lamar Jackson, where it was revealed today that early March that he did indeed before the exclusive and non-exclusive franchise tag deadline that he did ask for a trade. And as you can see, it did not come to fruition. of a trade of Lamar Jackson and so, Brown paper bag. So what I gather by that, Detroit, is that the Ravens have full control of the situation, and they made it. They're making it seem like, nah. I know you may have asked for a trade, but nah, we're gonna pretty much do this on our terms.
Right, this is what we're gonna do right here.
Yeah, this is what we're gonna do right here. We're gonna slap this tag on you, and we're gonna see your value according to the rest of the league. And
right.
as everybody's watching with this situation, for some reason, I haven't heard not one contract offer.
But man, what they want is steep, bro. It's very steep, man. You talking about 2 first rounds, and you gotta pay them.
And well, actually, 2 first rounds is the bare minimum. So
I'm going with the bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? So if you go, I just take it just with the bare minimum. That's steep, bro. You look at if you go through each team, you know.
Wait, hold on, Detroit.
Yeah,
so 4 first rounds for Deshaun Watson wasn't steep. That's what Cleveland had to give up. They gave up 4 first rounds
at a time. This is a different time now. We're talking about teams now that as they are built now. That's steep. I think that if you go through the teams now, if I'm who needs a quarterback, the Colts, right? 2 first rounds. Okay, I mean I can't pick first for the next couple rounds. If I do good, I'm not picking high in the first round. You know, if I get Lamar, he elevates our team, but we don't win a Super Bowl, but we're not gonna pick high in the first round. I mean, I don't have first round anyway. We're not gonna pick high, you know, so we can't wait the second round to pick. For 2 years, the Colts need more than just a quarterback. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They need some receivers.
I hear you.
They got decent receivers. They need like a true number 1 receiver over there. And most of them, you know how it rotates. This year's is kind of cornerback, defensive tackle, the defensive line. Say that.
Yeah, this year's very tight end heavy too.
Cornerback, tight end. So next year probably be receiver heavy. Right? They probably won't get a good receiver. You know what I'm saying? Because they not picking first. Go with other team. Who needs
Atlanta.
Atlanta be a good fit for them, but Atlanta needs some pieces too.
A lot
of pieces. You know what I'm saying? So you waiting 3 years for you to actually pick in the first round.
Yeah,
that's just the minimum. And plus, you can't really pay too much because you paying him a lot of money in the contract. So you can't really get a lot of people in trade either. In free agency, it's just kind of steep, man. I just think it's steep. And then you got to think about Deshaun Watson. All Cleveland need that we thought was a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So you give up that is okay because you don't really have to build much. You know, you can wait the second round and get a few pieces here and there because all you needed was a quarterback. There's teams that need a quarterback plus that's looking at quarterbacks now.
Okay. I see where you what you dropping. You pretty much, you know, when you got a team that needs so many needs, you know, giving a lot of that up to get Lamar. Okay,
you're taking away my options to build.
I hear you. Okay,
so I can't. I'm paying. I got money locked into you, so it's hard for me to get you something in free agency, especially somebody that's worth anything. And then I can't pick first. And then you made that's just the minimum. What you asked for a 2 first and a second. So now you're talking about I can't pick the third round?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Cleveland did it, but all Cleveland needed was a quarterback.
Yeah.
On paper.
In that different situation. Yeah. And that's a total different situation.
When we're looking at Cleveland, it's like, oh, okay, all they need is a quarterback. They should be smooth. You know, versus like you look at other teams. Most of I'm thinking off the top of my head. It might be what I'm forgetting, but most ones that need quarterback plus. That's my only thing. That's why I think it's gonna be hard to move them.
And it's hard to move, and not only that, it'll be hard to move. So here's my thing: Baltimore, you know, if you're smart, you don't even if you're going to end up trading them, you don't trade them in conference. So that to me knocks off all AFC teams raked in it. You don't trade them in conference because you don't want that trade to come back and bite you in the butt and have Lamar Jackson be the reason why you can't go to the Super Bowl because you can't get past him in the AFC conference game. So you definitely don't do that. So I mean, Washington,
the Commanders.
Atlanta.
You said Atlanta.
Yeah, Washington, Atlanta.
Okay.
And guess what? I'm not still excluding the Panthers because they may got the first pick, and they may think
that's intriguing because now if you Atlanta, I mean you Carolina, your first pick this year essentially is Lamar. So if you give that up, all you got to do is worry about next year's. So that's actually intriguing because you're already picking first anyway. So he's gonna get a quarterback. So if you get Lamar, you give it up to one you're gonna pick anyway. So that's like you just picking a quarterback. But now I'm looking at money wise, what else do I need to come over here? Because I ain't sold on the receiver core. I mean, you got DJ Chark, but he's okay. He ain't no true number one to me. He's a good piece to have. I can say he's a true number one to depend on throwing the ball to all the time. He's different
Carolina
than what Lamar had.
Number one. They traded him away.
They traded him away, which don't make sense.
Yeah. Hey, I'm still baffled by that, bro. So I mean, if you ask me, and the reason why I say that the Panthers should still, at least entertain it is just because, you know for a fact that you're going to get a quarterback regardless.
It's that Thielen. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I like Adam Thielen, but unfortunately for him, he got traded in Minnesota because Justin Jefferson and Osborne emerged last year, so he ended up becoming
still a true number one, though, man. That's my point. Is they got Thielen, they got DJ Chark, they got one more person. I can't think of a third receiver.
Terrence Marshall that they drafted a couple years ago.
So it's like, but they got still. I don't see no one that says, "Oh, this a true number one right here. He don't stand out."
Not that guy, right? Nobody's doing that.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't really see that for Carolina.
I can tell you right now, all defensive coordinators right now are looking at the Carolina's offense and like, well, depending on who they going to get at quarterback, man, we ain't worried too much about them. I mean, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm sure as hell thinking that way. I don't care. They got
I can't. Did Darren Schultz go there? Is that where he went? I remember him getting picked.
Dalton Schultz went to Houston.
Yeah.
But Andy Dalton did go to Carolina because he's going to be the teacher for the next quarterback that they get in the draft. Hey, that's what they're doing, bro.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that though.
That's what they're doing.
I don't have a problem with that. I mean, Andy Dalton might be able to teach you something.
Yeah, teach you how to lose.
Yeah, well, hey.
Teach you how to throw interceptions. How much help you need with that? I mean, damn.
It's always like you got players that can't play but probably good coaches. He might be one of those.
Those who can't do teach.
Right. There you go. There you go. Those who can't do teach.
No, but to me, I think there's I think when we get closer to the draft, and I think we said this on last week's show, I think that'll clear up a lot of questions when it comes to not only Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, and a lot of other quarterback situations, just because, there's a lot of uncertainty on what's going to happen in the draft.
Right, that too. And shout out to the Lions. They talking about they got Jeffrey Simmons in trade rumors.
Oh, they got him in the trade rumors?
Yeah, man. Hey, man, Tennessee talking about they gonna rebuild. Oh, they talking about fire sale. They like everybody can go.
Oh, I knew it was a fire sale in Tennessee the moment after their season ended.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as after the Super Bowl, they started releasing Robert Woods, Taylor Lewan. I was like, it's already started.
I'm sorry. If I'm Detroit, I'm on the phone. You imagine having him. This is what I would do if I was Detroit. If I got him, I would trade up, get Will Anderson. Now you got Will Anderson. You got Simmons, Hutch. You got all the other people you can rotate in and out. Plus, you got C.J. Johnson, you
Oh my
got Cam
goodness.
Sutton, and you got a man from San Francisco, and you got Kirby Joseph, Tracy Walker coming back, and you still have an 18 pick that you can pick another corner to they can mentor, or you can get Bijan Robinson.
Bro.
They got so many options. You get Jeffrey Simmons, you got more options you can do in that draft.
And not only that, I still love the fact. Look, I was actually kind of shocked that Jamal Williams signed for less than what y'all gave David Montgomery.
Yeah.
But when David Montgomery is a healthy running back,
oh yeah,
you're talking about a top 5 running back in the league.
Top 5, bro. With that line,
and you can't say that about Jamal Williams. I'm sorry, you can't say that.
He's just a north-south runner. Good on the goal line.
Look, I don't care what you say. You cannot say that about Jamal.
I mean, he's a likable person because of his personality, and so that's why people kind of rallied around him. But if you just look at his play on the field, what was you really losing? And a lot of fans didn't like to hear me say that, but I was like, just look at but his leadership, I can get leadership dime a dozen. I'm sorry, I can't. You can't. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's not no knock. It's no knock against him when it comes to his leadership, but there's other leaders on that team.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna pay a person just for their leadership. Well, fuck, put a polo shirt on, be a coach then. I said that's the case. Fuck, I'm playing you as a player for. That's the case. That's just real.
No, you're right.
So you look at his play on the field. Most of his 17 touchdowns was 1 yard here, 2 yard, goal line runs. Yeah. I mean, which is cool. It's cool. You did it. You broke the record. It's cool. But we just looking at play for play. If you look at Montgomery and Williams, you got to upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, hey man, and they offered him the same money they offered Montgomery. He turned it down.
Yeah.
He tried to gamble on himself and lost.
Mm-hmm.
Snake eyes nigga, see you in New Orleans.
and he signed for less in New Orleans, so that's
right.
But I mean, it's moves like that I think are going to be, game changers for each team and how they go and attack this draft. So I mean, that what you guys with the Lions did in free agency, to me, it frees up your possibility. Yeah. Freeze up, not freeze, as in stuck. Right. It doesn't put you guys in a situation where, we're very limited. Because
me too, man.
I think it actually makes it more flexible for you guys to do more in the draft, and as in possibly, even trading back to accumulate more draft picks.
That too.
Or take majority of draft picks to move up.
Here's what I say. If you get Jeffrey Simmons, you move up, get Will Anderson. If you don't get Jeffrey Simmons, you can trade back and accumulate more pick because it's full of defensive linemen and full of cornerbacks and stuff like that. So you'll get a good cornerback.
Yeah.
In the top, in the top 15, you'll get one.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about that. And then you still got Myles Murphy not going high because if you look at the way it's going, he still might be there. You still might have my man out of pick. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of quality players there that you can get. So yeah, if you trade back, like I said, it all depends on what they do. If they get Simmons, I'll trade up and get Will Anderson. Now you got Will Anderson, Simmons, Aleem McNeil, Hutch, plus James Houston comes in on third down. You still don't know what Pascal's gonna be.
Yeah.
He may develop into something. So you have some pieces there. Kaminsky, he's a good player to go in and out. Cora signed for less, so you got him that can go in and out. So you got a lot of pieces that you can move. And with Simmons on there, top 5 defense. I don't care what nobody say.
hey, that'll be nice. Not saying I've been loving the moves that the Detroit Lions have been making. Hey, the Bears. I think you guys, the Bears. I think I might flip the top 2 teams, as in Green Bay and Minnesota might flip, and then it might.
Minnesota losing a lot of players, bro.
But not only been losing a lot of players, but it's just like
they talking about they might give it to Dalvin too.
And they do, they be foolish. Dalvin Cook is a hell of a player, and because I think him and Allen Thielen kind of fell into that same situation where. They were so Justin Jefferson heavy that they forgot about how good and talented the other players that they had on that offense.
Right.
And I'm like, how? How do you forget how good Dalvin Cook is? Dalvin Cook is a legit top 5 running back in the league.
And he didn't catch out the backfield. He's just he a mirror image of Kareem Hunt to me.
Yeah. Maybe not saying running style, but I can see what you're talking about as
skill set wise.
Skill set, guys. Yeah, as in able to run and still be a threat in the catching game as well. So I understand your point right there. And then you have Adam Thielen, who's always been a good slot receiver. You know, he's almost like and no disrespect, but I think Adam Thielen was doing what Cooper Kupp was about 5 years ago before Justin Jefferson got there. Like, let's not sleep on Adam Thielen. He was that dude before Cooper Kupp took off. You know, talking about the baddest white boy wide receivers.
I can't respect the nigga named Cooper.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not taking nothing away from Cooper Kupp. He's a top 5 receiver.
Cooper Kupp
Cooper Kupp is nasty. But what I'm saying is that Adam Thielen was doing on the trajectory of what Cooper Kupp is now. Adam Thielen was on that trajectory before Justin Jefferson put on the Minnesota Vikings uniform, because Adam Thielen was beasting. And then all of a sudden they get Justin Jefferson and they forgot that he can't play. AP, you right. Dalvin Cook can be a little injury prone, miss a game here and there. But there are some games that because I follow him pretty well. He plays through a lot of injuries too. So I'm not going to knock Dalvin Cook for being banged up quite a bit. Because I've seen him play through some injuries too, and he does ball out. But crazy's been a real very interesting NFL free agency. And this is what I love about the NFL, making sure that the draft is after the start of free agency, so that you can they know what they're doing, bro. Come on, they know what they're doing, bro. You know they do. And then soon after the draft, they drop the schedule release, and that's another little nugget that they like to do.
And before you're into OTAs and
by the time the schedule gets released,
it's like the season never ends.
Training camp's a month and a half away.
It's like the season never ends, bro.
It don't.
It's just like real. Super Bowl in February. Yeah. Mark, you starting to get the little taste for the free agents, and free agency opens up. Then April is draft.
Yep.
Schedule drops. OTAs. Preseason in August. It's like, bruh, after that, the season start.
Yep.
They know what they doing, bruh. I had to give it to the NFL. That's why they on top, man.
Hey, their business model is top notch. They really is. Meek Mill's text craft about Lamar to New England. Hey, Robbie, go get him, bro. Hey, I wouldn't put it past him.
Hey,
because
New England. I can see New England swinging it.
I wouldn't put it past him because I think Belichick has always kind of raved about Lamar Jackson and the type of player he is, and he hates trying to game plan against mobile quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson. So,
man. That run game, that defense, and Lamar, they can swing that. Because see, here's the thing. New England don't need draft picks because Belichick drafts horrible anyway.
It's terrible to draft.
Terrible. Terrible. Just terrible.
Hey, you know what? You bring up a good point.
That's a good point, Ant.
Hey, Ant, that's a good take. I like that, Ant.
That actually be a good fit. That's something nobody not really looking at.
No, not at all.
Because I've been packaging Matt Jones up in that.
Oh, in a heartbeat.
Oh, y'all can have Matt.
You can have Matt, dog.
we throw him in like you throw a cup holder in a new car. Throw him in. You can have Matt. Yeah, that nigga.
Hey, Mac Jones is the air freshener tree.
Right.
Yeah, you can have that.
Hey, just to put ice on the cake, we give you this Mac.
Man, matter of fact, I'm gonna think about that, because I think me and MJ need to go in depth about that on tonight's episode.
I'm gonna
put some thought about that.
Dang, that's a good. I can see that, man. They can swing that. They got a pretty decent defense, man. The running game ain't that bad.
Hey,
you got Lamar.
hey.
I mean, they got a receiver problem, but you can get
I'm
a couple.
gonna break that down. I'm gonna break that down. We're gonna talk about that on tonight's episode. So MJ, get ready. And yeah, because that's gonna be good. But look, we come up on our 2 hours, and this has been one great show, man. Appreciate everybody jumping in, chopping it up with us. Keep showing your support. And in order to do that, please go on over to all our social media platforms. You see it scrolling on the bottom of the screen. I.O.W Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, and most importantly, the YouTube channel, I.O.W Sports Network, where all the content is at. Make sure you like, share, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, let you know every time we go live, and spread the word what we got going on. You can also follow us.
I cut you off. It's opening day like the 30th?
End of this week.
I thought so. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Baseball literally right around the corner. Hey, get ready.
And then for Matt.
Yeah. And then make sure follow us on the Twitter, I.O.W Sports 1. You want to chop it up with the Wild Card personally. Find me on Twitter, Casey Wildcard Mar on Facebook and Instagram. Detroit D Nasty is on the way for the Twitter because this man is we getting a whole Noah's Ark of zoo animals in the I.O.W joint.
Yeah, USFL next month. Hey, XFL, man, ain't that bad. I've been watching it.
As a matter of fact, tonight there's a big matchup XFL tonight. They're trying to
what's that undefeated? Is it DC?
DC Defenders, who are undefeated, and they're taking on the second best team in the Houston Roughnecks tonight, 7 p.m. I think that's going to be a good game. I'll definitely be watching that for sure. But yeah, man, a lot of sports going on. We're getting close to the end of March Madness. Baseball is about to ramp up. Baseball is literally about to take over the sports waves as best as possible. NBA and NHL are both winding down their regular season, and they're both getting closer to playoff time in both respective sports. So, hey, man, we're about to hit a good point in the year where there's a lot going on. The Masters aren't too far away in April in golf, so there's a lot going on. So, hey, I keep tuning in with us at all the social media platforms underneath, and we gonna keep bringing y'all this barbershop talk heat for y'all. Y'all already know
right.
So on behalf of the I.O.W Sports Crew, I'm the Wild Card Mar. That's the Detroit Mail, and you already know what it is. Come back Thursday for episode 234, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check y'all later.
Peace.